Okay, motion to start the meeting.
Second.
Thank you. So number 1 on the agenda is outstanding accounts receivable as of 4/28/2025 is $52,000.80.
I looked at the wrong one.
Okay.
Hang on a minute.
Okay.
You go too fast.
Whatever that magic number is, does include outstanding liens as well.
$78,090.
$78,090.
90. It's as of 4/28.
No change?
That's what it should have been.
Okay. Okay. No, I mean no change. No ching.
Cents.
Cents.
I rounded it up.
Okay. All right. All right, and then it looks like Q2. This goes back to 2023. Is this the right information?
Yes.
Okay. Is 3 liens
Yes.
amounting $1,038.60.
Yes.
Due date is 5/15.
Yes.
Foreclosure notices mailed on 4/28/25.
4/8/25.
Yes, that's right. 4/8/25. Q3 2023. Amount was $3,072.50. The due date was back in, is not back. It's in August, this year, August 5th, 2025. Q4, there's 7, $2,897.45 due 11/6/2025. Q1, there's also 7, $3,170.12. February 5th, 2026. Q2 of 2024, there's 7, and that's $3,087.37. That's May 7th of 2026. Q3 of 2024 is 10, $4,674.87, and due date is August 7th, 2026. For a total of $17,940.91.
Interest is still accruing with these liens, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, and that interest rate is higher now, so unfortunately.
Well, not
that's
yet.
gonna-
That hasn't gone into effect
Right,
yet.
yeah, July, right? Yeah. So that won't be helpful, so hopefully they'll get those paid before the interest rate goes up. Paid invoices approved by the Board of Trustees and signed.
Let me back
Do we
up
got
just a minute.
everything
Let me
or
back
no?
up just a
Okay.
minute. On those foreclosures,
Yeah,
they don't pay by May 15th. You own the property,
the 3 in there.
the 3 that are there, yeah. I have some foreclosure documents that I have sent to the lawyer to just have them check it out to make sure that it's still good stuff. Make sure that they're still good. Determine what it is that you want to do for them.
Yeah, I mean, one person, there's a balance of $108.90. One person is $201.94. And one is $399.54. And these are the 3 that are in foreclosure.
Yep.
And we need their payments by 5/15.
By 1 p.m. on May 15th.
1 p.m.
It says it right on in the second
Yeah.
paragraph.
Yeah. Well, I hope they do it. Because we don't have any options. We can't even pay our bills as it is now. And that's, $108.90, $201 and $399.
We did have a foreclosure on one of these people back a few years ago.
The one that owes $108?
No,
Oh, okay.
the one that owes 201. And we ended up going to small claims court with them. And then we sat down with them and we came up, I had legal with me at the time. And then we came up with a payment plan for them.
Yeah,
And once that got paid off, we deeded the property back to them.
okay.
But I have a question because in my documents, because I also received some documents from the town of Vassalboro that stated if we foreclose on somebody, they need to make sure to pay the town of Vassalboro taxes if they're past due also, before we can deed the property back to them. So I've got all
that
that,
makes sense.
I've got all that information sent out to legal, asking
Okay.
them to please double check to make sure that what we're doing is correct.
Just in
Thanks.
case, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And I have a feeling that you may have a couple that are going into foreclosure
Okay,
out of these three.
okay. That's sad. Okay. That's too bad. Okay. Yeah, back on March 3rd, we had thoughts of having a notary on Board of Trustees or the office staff. Office staff can't if they're the ones generating the liens.
Well, right, but I was thinking if this
Or,
goes into more than one one office staff is what I was thinking.
gotcha.
So, I mean, if you don't, that's fine, it's just, I would find it easier if you could have somebody on, excuse me, on the board that can do this to, so when you sit down here, you say, hey, can we meet a little earlier so you can sign these? Instead of going up to the town office at whatever time. But it's whatever.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. My only fear and thought is if somebody on the board is the notary and we're monitoring our own stuff.
Well, the town does the same thing.
No?
They do their liens and they have their notary sign them.
What do you guys think of that?
I'm just.
I would want it checked out to make sure it wasn't a conflict of interest. That would be my thought.
What's your thought, Donna?
It's a blank slate right now.
No, I agree with the conflict of interest. That's my. But is there somebody, if we're both feeling like that, right? Maybe we should just go with our gut, and maybe we can find somebody else that is a notary that wouldn't mind doing it. I do know a couple of people. They're not on the line at all, but they're in Vassalboro. So that would at least remove them from anything.
The person that I had doing it is a customer.
Yeah. Let me ask a couple people.
Or we just keep going up to the town and have them do it.
And they don't
Yeah.
charge, right?
No.
Mhm. All right. Continue discussion of possible new pricing structure of commercial versus residential. Must notify the school by June, early July to make sure to receive approval from BCS. So take me back to that because I was missing for that meeting. And I know we talked about it before, but what was discussed in that last meeting about that?
Bankruptcy.
Yes, and I saw that you, which makes sense, but we can't, correct, from what you found? Yeah, because there's nothing we
Because
can
what,
pay.
what ultimately, what was his name? Richard.
Tim,
Richard was
Oh,
here.
Richard.
came
yeah,
and,
Richard Green.
thank you.
yeah.
I'm not good with names. We're trying to put Band-Aids on our pump station, and it's just gonna be a Band-Aid, and we don't know how long it is. We do bankruptcy, our bond rating goes out, and if you looked through all this stuff that she did, our rate is 2.2?
Yeah,
Something that we got
okay.
it, very, very low rate. We go to bankruptcy, we're never gonna be able to borrow money, and if we do, we're gonna pay astronomical, and we think we're in the hole now. And there's no getting out. There's no getting out.
But there's no paying our bills either.
Well, that's why I firmly believe the way that I relate it, I know we just had an increase. Single-family structures remain as residential. 2 and above, we'll do it as a commercial. We're only looking at 5 cents more per cubic foot. If you have a duplex and you can prove that you're living in one of the duplex, same way as what the town does, we'll give you the residential because you really care about these people who have multifamily houses and own a few. They really don't care. They're just collecting their money, their rent. They're not caring about, diapers and underwear and
You mean
everything
the
else.
people, the tenants that are,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that way we're making the landlord accountable. And they're gonna see what's being flushed, what's not being flushed. They're gonna fix their spigots, that it's not dripping constantly in that flow. It's going down and you have a drippy toilet and you have silent flows in the toilet. You don't hear it or anything else. Have them go in once or twice a year, put food coloring in the back of the tank, let it set, go back in 20 minutes. You see you have color in the toilet, that means you have a silent leak. That we're paying to push that stuff out.
Yeah.
Let them be accountable. And I seem to think we're gonna get out of the hole on this.
So,
Because I did the 10 cents and I did the 5 cents. And the difference in the money, let's see what here. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
no.
And I did miss some when I prepared these spreadsheets. Difference. 56,898 at 10 cents more a cubic foot and I'm missing some of them for the multifamily. That's a quarter. That's a quarter. If we up it to the, what's it? 5 cents more than what we had, it ups it to, I'm sorry, that 20,430, that's 20,000 above. It's 68,174 a quarter by
Wow.
5 cents a cubic
Wow.
foot.
wow.
So are you saying that if they rent just a home, you're only gonna do residential?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
If you have a 2-family, we'll start with 2-family.
I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I disagree, because if you're doing this for commercial, and these people are renting a home, which is commercial, as far as I'm concerned, they should be getting, it
A
doesn't
commercial.
matter, you start at 0 and go up.
Well, if we know it's a rental property, prime example, there's 2.
You're saying it should be for everybody? Is that what you're
I'm saying if you have a landlord and it's commercial property, everybody should be, regardless if it's just one building on the lot.
Prime example right here. It's a little bit further by the mills down here. And I said, oh, that used to be a business there. Because, I'm new and I'm starting to identify
Yeah.
things that I'm going. All of a sudden I saw a sign up there. I thought that it was a business and then people were just living in it. Now there's a sign there. It's a business. But see, I
Priorities.
think you do have a legitimate point. But how do we find out if someone's renting a single family? No, the address you provided.
Yeah.
Not just the address, but I went through, I don't even know if I have it with me. I went through and grabbed that list at the town, I went up to the town office and grabbed a list that said, okay, this has one, this has two, this has
Yeah,
however many. When I called
But like
it-
when I was calling, about the legislative meeting that was coming up,
Yeah,
I ended up talking to some lady who lives in Massachusetts and she rents. So I'm not sure if it was, she rented the whole house to one person or if it was an apartment building. But, I mean, that would be commercial, obviously.
obviously.
see, I went through, I went up to town and yeah. Like that, for instance, there's two. You
Right,
got the
right.
house and then you have the apartment building, but you also have people that just
Rent the
rent
whole
a house. And I only went by what the town had. So, some of them,
So basically, commercial in our aspect would include single-family houses that are rented.
Rented.
yes.
And duplex
And above.
and above, and any commercial.
And that's why I think everybody should get, not just, if it's one or two, don't do it, because you're gonna have a hard enough time selling this.
Well, I mean, we don't have, and the reason too is the usage that's going through those systems from multi-people. If you have only two people living in one house, not as much is going into the system as 5 families living in one house. So the breakdown of the system from that end is going to be faster than for only 2 people using a system. But people also have to, I would hope that they would understand in that we don't have other options. Our options were bankruptcy, which we cannot do. And the other part to bankruptcy, and some of the information that I read, is that, and it didn't say a hard definite yes, it was a possibility that all of the homes on this system are collateral. So if
Yes.
we
I
went
read it.
Yeah.
to bankruptcy, all 220 plus homes could potentially be sold
Yeah.
to cover the bankruptcy. And I'm saying potentially, I'm not saying it's,
Right.
written in stone. So we don't, we're trying to find ways to get our bills paid and to watch the upkeep of the pipe and components to the sewer system. So the other option we brought up the last meeting was going to the town, have it put on as a warrant so that it would be covered under, or potentially could be added to the taxes where everyone would pay a certain percentage. And that was like $40, but that I don't believe will occur unless people want to call the town office and advocate for it.
You couldn't get the signatures last time. for
Yeah, it
that.
was the signatures. So, and
And it was even people on the system that wouldn't sign.
Yep, so, but the select board could add it independently
Correct.
of those signatures.
They could if they wanted to.
So, I mean, that is still a viable option as far as I can tell. I might be wrong. So it was bankruptcy, that price increase, and was there any other, the monies that we were hoping that would come from the legislative if they do, it's gonna be at least another year, and there's no guarantee with the times that the governments are having now, so we have to rely on what we know. And, you know, we owe Winslow,
Ugh, yeah,
and, you know, there are consequences
yes,
to the district not paying
yeah.
those fees.
One of those bills are paid.
Oh, thank God.
Right,
I did
but-
pay one.
It's pretty bad when we have to like hold our breath. Are we gonna be able to pay our bills?
I
You
did.
know,
Yeah.
it's not a good feeling.
No, and the possibility of the district being sued because we're not paying.
Right.
Not because we don't want to, it's because there virtually is no money,
Uh-huh.
you know, is there, and then that would incur even more costs. So, it's not a good situation.
No.
So I just had to send in another reading for another bill. to
So
Winslow.
right now, what is it that we owe them?
Right now, we owe them the last bill, which we owe them $24,400. I rounded it up.
Okay.
So,
And that was the last bill, that was due.
hang on, I've got the bills here somewhere.
What time did you have to leave, Lisa?
I'm good today.
Oh, I thought for some reason.
It's May quarter to.
Oh, it was you, okay, all right. Oh,
I
somebody.
guess I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, we got 15 more minutes. Okay, yeah, we should be able to.
But to your knowledge, it's past due, correct?
Yes, it is past
Okay.
due.
And then we're going to be receiving, the district will be receiving another bill, and that will run-ish 24,
That's about 27,000 that's gonna be coming out then.
27, okay.
And I just found out that Winslow's raising their prices again,
Of course.
10%.
When are they doing that?
I don't know for sure, I'm assuming it's gonna be sometime around June or July.
Which will be the next.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but currently, we will owe them 51,000.
Sorry, I think I just.
So,
Okay.
what I was thinking is gonna be 27,703 for the next bill.
Okay.
The bill that's currently outstanding,
Yeah.
I would like to, I hate to do this, but I would like to max out the line of credit. We have 16,553 available.
How much is the bill?
24,400.
Sweet Jesus.
Right, so that's
How
still
much
gonna
is
leave
the-
us with $7,800 still to pay. And then we're gonna get this bill here for 27.
Yeah.
Do they also charge us interest for not paying this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's their percentage that they're charging us on this? Do you know offhand?
I've never, it doesn't say, it just says that the base fee and water usage is going up 10%. However, we have, our base fee is a contracted fee, so that shouldn't be going up.
Okay.
It should be in our contract with them, right? The late fee?
I don't know.
I would assume so. What is our fees on that, our line of credit, do you know?
8% plus 1, I believe. $8.5. plus one.
8.5.
Yep.
Well, we can find appendix 2. Appendix 1. It just says distribution of message charges within 30 days. It doesn't give me a late fee.
Okay.
Well, we agreed to go by whatever the,
Current.
State charges were.
yeah, whatever the customer charges are.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
I don't see.
All right. So what do we think about, we owe 24,000, that's already past due, right, to Winslow?
well, that includes the finance charge as of right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and then how quickly can we pay that off when people start paying their bills?
Well, that's how I paid off that first past due for Donna.
Yeah, yeah,
Things have really slowed down all of a sudden.
yeah. But we could potentially pay that off within the next 3 months, or, you know, what do you think's reasonable? Or weighing this out? Because we're gonna get another bill of, what, 27,000 from them.
Mm-hmm. Probably soon, too.
Yeah, so that will be over 50,000.
Yeah. I hate to max that out, but I don't know what
I know,
else.
I don't know what else to do.
I mean,
And then we'll just pay it down as soon as we can.
I always pay more than what the interest is due on it,
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah.
so.
All right, do we want to take a vote on this? What do you guys? I mean, the money isn't gonna come from anywhere else.
No, it's not. And if we keep getting behind and getting behind.
It's gonna be worse
The
than it is.
compounding on top of
Yeah.
interest compounding.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
So with the next bill, you have 30 days, so that's June. July is our next billing cycle. So would we have enough in the July monies that come in to cover the 27?
in theory, maybe.
Barring any major,
Barring any expenses, any other expenses, you know?
I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, it's
You know,
kinda,
I don't
we kinda
know if-
go bill by bill, really.
I mean, it's,
and with the customers that, well, you saw the liens,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna meet
Well,
with
and how much
Donna.
does it cost for a small claims court? Because it looks like we're heading that way with 3 people, if they don't pay by the 15th by 1 o'clock.
It depends on what the lawyer charges.
but that cost gets incurred by them as
Yeah.
not the
Right,
district, so.
right. Okay.
But I mean, if we get the paperwork back, once the lawyers check stuff out and make sure everything's fine. I mean, I didn't know what to do. That was the first time we've ever had a foreclosure.
Yeah,
That's why I went
Yeah.
small claims, although we did have another one. And as the Board of Trustees sat here, she brought in legal counsel,
Yeah.
which we didn't have our legal counsel, because we didn't know at the time,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so.
we'll make sure we have that going forward. I mean, if you owe it, you owe it.
Mhm.
I would assume legal counsel would have been more than what she needed to pay, but who knows? I wasn't there.
She did the elderly legal.
Oh, so it was free.
Yeah,
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 so it was free, yeah.
so,
All right, well, let's vote on using the line of credit. I guess all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, it's approved.
okay, thank you.
Yep,
And that'll leave some money in the checking account.
yep.
Before anybody takes off though, you got, did you check over the payments, the bills that I paid?
I didn't see
Any
any,
questions?
I did not see any pump clearance, so we didn't have any. What I mean is plugs. Nobody came to unplug it.
Nope.
I think that's a first. A good thing. I'm grateful.
I am concerned about the road where CMD won't come back and fix that connection.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We have to have money to allocate for that. Because if that were to go, it's gonna be a complete disaster with DEP.
And so, not to skip over 4, but I just wanted to say thank you, Donna, for, doing all of that work. That was wonderful to have that in a spreadsheet we could really visually see, because I think we're all visual people and we can talk about stuff all day long, but until you break it down into numbers,
And
it's
it was
very
noted-
impactful.
I did miss a few,
Yeah.
and when I was re-looking over it to prepare for the last, I said, oh, I missed this one, but you
Yeah.
look and look and look, and
Yeah.
you're just seeing, so it will be more.
Yeah.
And I'm seeming to think, go with the 5 cents.
Yeah, because the 5-cent increase per cubic feet brought us how much?
Was it?
Was it 50,000?
Something like
more?
50,000 more.
50,000
A
more.
quarter,
Per quarter.
based on what numbers were provided.
Okay.
And that would get us out of the hole.
And
More
that
than
would
just-
be for
That's provided we
everybody.
pay.
And that would be for everybody we talked about, correct?
The commercial part.
Just the
yes.
commercial.
Okay.
It would be a lot more, but we're not doing people who live in their houses.
Yeah.
Those people I feel bad for.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad for everybody.
Well, I do too.
It's hard to get good renters too. And I don't want to deter people from coming to Vassalboro. We're already a dying town down on this end. Businesses aren't coming here. And so it's 5 cents. And that's a lot of money. And we could pay our bills and keep the lights on.
And too, if you look at it, the other point that I made reference to, drippy sinks, drippy toilets.
Yes.
In the long run, with our flows, if they fix these things, their water rates, if they don't have that much
absolutely.
consumption on their water rates, so that'll bring their water
Right.
bills down through Winslow, and we base it off of that.
Correct.
It will bring our rates down too.
Yes,
So
correct.
it's I feel it's a win-win
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so the earliest that can go into effect after you have your public hearing will be in January. And you have to have the public hearing and have it voted on before August 22nd.
And we have to announce it 2 weeks ahead, right? We have to do it in a paper and announce it in the paper and,
It's gotta go in the paper, I think, 1 week before. And you have to mail one out to everybody
yep,
2 weeks before.
yep. Yep, I remember
And you
that.
need to notify the school and you need to keep on top of them. Because I didn't find out, when we had our last public hearing there, I never got verification that we could do it, but the woman that I talked to in the school office said, you should be fine. Well, I found out after the fact that because, not maintenance, but custodians didn't know about it, we almost didn't have that public hearing.
Yeah, you had said that, yeah.
So,
So I mean, this would be for January effectiveness.
Right.
But, I mean, we still have to make it to the end of the year with what
Right,
we don't have, so.
Well,
Yeah.
you just have that small
Right.
rate increase now, so that,
Well,
what did I figure, that's 12,000? 12,000, I think I figured. So,
do you wanna keep?
I can print it out at home and I took notes of what I need to change, but thank you.
So yeah, that will,
All right, any other business we need to address?
I wanna ask, do we wanna go back to, nighttime, like 5:30 meetings, 6 o'clock meetings? Just because I think it's a little harder for people to come together during the day.
Is it hard or difficult?
it seemed to be we had a real difficult time
Right.
last time, and this time it was,
A disaster.
you know,
That's
And,
fine, whatever you
Laura's
guys wanna
not
do.
taping anymore, so
Yeah,
it will be even more, I think, prudent of us to have it when other people who are not working can come if they choose to.
yeah, that's fine,
But still have it on the first Monday.
yeah.
So the next meeting would then be,
Just to make sure.
June 2nd.
Yep,
You want 5:30 or 6?
up to you guys.
I could do 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
And then usually the baby gets picked up about 5.
You wanna do
do
5:30? Yeah.
Because we're all tired.
Yeah, get in here,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
okay, perfect.
did I get everything set?
And I'm gonna send out meeting minutes from now on too, so that, it's just gonna be an email form,
Yeah.
not Word. But you can keep it however you want, but I'll do that, starting this meeting. And,
If you
So-
include me in the email, I'll still post it on
sure,
social media.
yep, okay, yep, I can do that.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah,
all
for
of
doing
your
on
taping.
yeah, so if anybody really is watching this, there's no more tapings after this. And
Yes.
you're going to please
Yes.
have to come to the meetings to find out what we're discussing. And they are your meetings too, so hopefully people will start showing up. But thank you, Laura, meeting adjourned.
Second.
Perfect.